So we're live. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Marco. I'm a grateful naturalized citizen to the United States of America. And today I'm covering for the show that was going to be with Juan Hidalgo, with We Are Mimi and Vane. And these girls are doing a great job, and they are close to you down there, right? So maybe you can get with them and do a little bit more work here and there. But hey, like I told you, every time I interview somebody in their campaign, as the campaign progresses and they get closer, you can see how they grow and they even look more, they smile differently, they get more confidence. I mean, you start, because the people around you start feeding you that energy, and you start tapping into that, and they're letting you know you're doing the right thing, you're going the right way. And you're telling me that the primary wasn't that difficult. um, how do you see yourself now, that you're in the real race? How do you see the other guys reacting to you?
Yeah, the other guys, because of the fact that we know that they have to be doing something crooked. They don't feel like they have to campaign, but they're going to be awakened because a lot of people in the district here in southern part of San Diego in Imperial Valley, they're telling us. Democrats have come up to me and told me, "We are with you, Mr. Hidalgo. We're with you," because they finally realized, and maybe it was just the COVID that made them open their eyes, but they're saying the Democrats, politicians don't care about us. And that's a real big help for us because they needed to know that. We knew it, but now they're starting to see that the guy I'm running against been in office for almost 8 years. He has not one significant thing that he could show that he's done for the American people. For the people that pay his salary, he has not done a thing. And that's going to change when I'm in office because I know that I work for the American people. It's something that I learned. One of many things that I learned in my over 31 years in the United States Marine Corps is that you might be the senior guy, but you really work for everybody else. And that's the same attitude I'm going to take for my district, that I work for them. They don't work for me. I work for them, and it's an honor to work for them.
Does he have a lot of cash in hand? Do you think he's gonna get nasty at the end, or is he just that's
Yeah.
just a big risk right now? Or
He's a typical Democrat politician. They got money, the coffers throw money, and he's just got it. And he tries to he's not, he's a do nothing guy. I mean, he's not even worth talking about because I call him Bigfoot. You've heard about him, you just never see him. You know,
that is a constant we see on all these guys, and it's just like, what kind of politics is that? It's kind of like in Mexico. It got so bad that whenever these politicians in Mexico used to win and they would celebrate, they would tell them, "What are you celebrating? I mean, what are you celebrating if you really didn't fight anything?" And it seems that they should be out there and see, taking you seriously, because respecting the system and saying, okay, you're my opponent now, and doing a because this is for the people, so that the people know and feel that they got the right person for the job, that they were part of this election. And it seems that you're doing that. You're bringing people and you're doing a lot of events. You're out there. I see the feed coming in, and I
we're
mean,
on the streets every day. The fact of the matter is, he will not even debate me. What do you have to hide? What are you afraid of? I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not a career politician, but I'll stand toe to toe. Let's talk about it. I met him once, and I said, "Are you ready to debate me?" He said, "Sure." And I said, "Well, let's do this. My people are already trying to talk to your people. Your people are ignoring us." He says, "Well, we won't do anything stupid." And I turned it around. I said, "Wait a minute. Since when is it stupid to allow the American people to decide? You don't want them to see how bad you are." He can't stand up to me. He has nothing to show. Nothing to show. All he can say is he's a career politician. I'm not a career politician. I'm of the people, for the people, and by the people. I grew up in this district. That's why I'm running for this, because I care about all people. And let me be clear, I'm a Republican and proud of it. But when I'm in office, I will work for Democrats and independents as well. That's what's important. We need to get back to stop voting the party and vote the man. When we vote the man, I'm going to win every day because he cannot touch my credibility, my integrity. he can't touch it. We can talk about his because where is it? You won't even debate. You won't even talk about issues. Instead, he always talks about comprehensive, which is code for let's push down the line. Let's talk about comprehensive immigration. Let's talk about comprehensive gun control. We know what that means. Comprehensive gun control means let's take our guns. That's not going to happen. Hidalgo's 100% supportive of the Second Amendment and your right to bear arms. He also supports abortion. Okay, either you're pro-life or you're pro-abortion. Hidalgo, I'm 100% pro-life, no exceptions. What does that guy say? He says his personal belief is he doesn't believe in abortion, but he doesn't want to push his beliefs on others. Again, code for he's pro-abortion. How can you do that? You can't. I'm a Christian. I don't believe you can call yourself a real Christian and support people that will support abortion. That's just wrong.
You know, I want to, I want to understand, and I'm seeing that now that issue is coming up. The Catholic religion, it's actually getting into the fight. I've seen a lot of priests that are just finally just, saying what they, they're not telling people what to do, how to vote, but they're saying, hey, vote your values, because that is a big deal.
Yeah, vote your values. And the Catholic Church, the Catholic people are great people. And the church, the Catholic Church puts out a thing called the 5 non-negotiables. Okay. And I'm surprised when I meet a Catholic and they don't know this. I said, your church puts this out. I'm not a Catholic. I have a bunch of Catholic friends. And I tell them, what does that say? They said, you should not support or vote for a candidate that believes in same-sex marriage, that believes in abortion, that believes in euthanasia, that believes in cloning, okay? All these things, and they look at me like, how do I know this? This is your church. And at the same time, when you talk to Christians, Protestants, thou shalt not murder. That's very clear because, abortion isn't in the Bible, but the Bible is clear, thou shalt not commit murder. And when we're allowing the killing of 3,000 babies a day, that's terrible. We can't allow that to happen. And I will do everything I can to make sure we defund, Planned Parenthood. They don't want to hear that. And why does the left want to support Planned Parenthood? Follow the money. Who does Planned Parenthood give money to? The Democrat politicians. So it's very clear why they support him. But we need to stop that. The federal funds should not, and we just need to defund them completely.
What is the demographics in your district? What it's composed of?
The demographics, we have 67% Hispanic, 8% African American. It's only like 14% Caucasian. Very, it's diverse, but you can see the number one, the biggest culture is Hispanic. 67%. Wow. Yeah. And we have to do because unfortunately, what's happened is people like the guy, my opponent, what do they say? They say they care. They don't care. Because if that was the case, why is it before the pandemic, we had an 11% unemployment rate? Unacceptable. The rest of the country, if you recall, was at 3.2. 3.2. Even after pandemic, the country is now at 8.5. Still, our district, and it's gone up, of course, still not acceptable. We got to get, because Hispanic people are hardworking people. They're not lazy. They want to work. We want to work because, yes, everybody can tell by my last name, I'm Hispanic too. And I'm proud of that. But I think most of us, and Marco, you told me this yourself, we're proud to be Americans. I don't forget things. Your story about walking across, and the first place you went was to McDonald's right there in San Isidro. Okay, I remember that. Matter of fact, I'll be there tomorrow because we're going to be down the rain. We're going to pray right there next to it. So it's important. And that's another thing that I never waver from. I'm not afraid to tell people I am a Christian, and I'm a proud Christian because Jesus comes first in my life. And there's people that have told me, you shouldn't talk about that. And I tell them, get over it. I know why I've been successful thus far in my life, and I know where the Lord, it's up to him where he puts me. Not what man wants, God wants.
And I came in with 3 quarters and a pair of jeans, white t-shirt, tennis shoes.
Look at you now. Praise the Lord.
my 2005 tax returns were my personal ones were close to $5 million.
Praise God. Look at that.
Now, I went back.
Since you say that, okay, don't forget, you're going to make a contribution today, okay, a max contribution, since you can do that.
Well, I went bankrupt and I lost most of it. And that's when I learned what American Dream is all about, because this is the land of opportunity. It is. Immigrants have, the American Dream. It's the rich, everybody. But then, there's other things you have to learn about this country. The beauty of it is that, you need to find your place. And now it's not all about money. It's more about my family and just growing my kids.
You make a very important point here, and that's one of the reasons I'm running, is because I'm a kid from this district. I grew up in National City. Those people that are listening that know San Diego, I grew up in National City. Unlike the other guy who says he grew up in that, he grew up in another Santee, went to Santana High. I grew up in National City. Not because that, I came from a great family. I had a real good family, but the odds were against me just because I grew up in National City. But by the grace of God, the Lord allowed me to leave, join the Marine Corps, have a very successful career, and now I'm running for Congress. Where does that happen in this country? Where does that happen in the world? I'm sorry. It happens only in the United States of America. That's why so many people want to come to the U.S. I mean, I was stationed. My last command, I was in Joint Task Force Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. And I'll tell you, never once did I see somebody swimming from Miami or from Florida to get to Cuba to live in Cuba. But we saw people swimming, coming across minefields to get to the U.S. Okay? Minefields, yes. That's how great America is. People will risk their life to get here. People need to remember, instead of trying to say, let's become a socialist, communist country like these left politicians want. It's about America, the American dream, and what do we want to leave for our children and our grandchildren? I want to leave it better than I found it. I know you do, Marco. You're a testimony of the way you came here. You came here the right way. We need to make sure that we leave it better. Socialism and communism is not going to work, and we need to make sure all these people that are trying to run on that agenda are out. We need to get them out, including the guy I'm running against, who's all in favor of the New Green Deal and supporting all those leftists. That's ridiculous. It's America. I've been all over the world, and I've seen other countries. There's no place like America.
Well, we were talking about Catholics, but I learned something. Did you know that? I don't know if you believe in the archangels and in the Bible and all that. Mm-hmm. Do you know that Archangel Michael, Saint Michael?
Yes.
They attribute the color of black and blue, and that's the police have adopted those colors because that's the colors of law and order. So in essence, Saint Michael was the first law and order official, because he kicked out the bad, the evil out of here. Yeah. So when we say defend the blue, we're defending the word of God. I mean, this is a big deal, right? We're talking about here. And so the girls wanted me to ask you about BLM and all that's going on. I don't think regular people, I don't think my grandma, I don't think Hispanics really identify with this riots, with this breaking stuff, with this. What do you think about that?
Well, let's be clear. Let me back up a minute and be clear. Whenever you hear me say something derogatory about Democrats, I'm talking about the politicians, right? Because I speak to great Americans that are Democrats every single day. All right. So let me make that. The second point is, our grandparents that were Democrats, my grandparents, my dad just switched and became a Republican 2 years ago. He's 78 years old. Okay. My grandparents that were hardworking Americans that came to this country, they would not be Democrats today. Why? Because they believed in hard work. They taught us hard work. They taught my father. They taught my mother. They believed in, we as Hispanics are hardworking people. They believed in family values, right? And they didn't believe in things like abortion. they wouldn't be part of the party today. They taught us to be proud of our culture, where we came from, but to be extremely proud of the fact that we're Americans. And so when I say that, and then you start thinking about these law and order, they taught us law and order. I remember my dad telling me when I was a kid, hey, listen, if you don't want to follow the rules, the law has teeth and it bites. And that was a profound lesson to hear and say, well, no kidding. I don't want to be part of that. So I think a lot of those conversations go on in families, and they tell their children, no. Unfortunately, what's happened today in society, people, we had 8 years of telling people to hate the police officers. We need to stand with our police officers. If you look at my website and stuff, you'll see public safety as one of the priorities. We need to get back to having respect for our police officers. I'm so tired of hearing, well, there's some bad ones. Of course there are. I don't care what profession you think of. Anyone you can think of, there's some bad people in it. I'm a Marine. There's some bad Marines. But to say they're all bad is a disservice. Those that are bad should be punished. But don't say that they're all bad. That's just not appropriate. As far as we people, as I was saying earlier, people need to decide really what they want right now. Do we want law and order, or do we want complete anarchy? Because we're on the move to anarchy. The left wants to push and say, let these people riot. Nowhere in our Constitution does it say that you have the right to riot. The Constitution gives each and every one of us the right to peacefully protest. And whether I agree with what you're protesting or not, I will support, and I have fought for your right to protest. Okay? I will continue to fight for that right, whether I agree or not. That's not the point. That's your right. But the minute you start rioting, looting, that's against the law, and we need to stop it. We need to shut those things down. So I'm not for any of those things. I won't ever support a group that does those things. It's about law and order and the American way, and we are a country of law and order.
Is there any of this going on in your county and your district? Any of this mambo jumbo?
Right now, we've had a few, and the ones that we know of down here have been in the district have been peaceful. I just thought of one that was there. Once you get on the freeways and impede people's movement, that's against the law as well. But there was a little bit of that at first, but since there hasn't been. Most have been peaceful. In parts of San Diego, not inside the district, there has been right outside the district, which was devastating to a lot of small business owners. Again, who are they hurting? Mostly small business. So we need to make sure that we don't allow that ever, and that needs to be shut down quickly.
Now, you sometimes they say that a representative, it reflects the beauty of the district. Mm-hmm. And when I see you smile, I see you're Hispanic, but you fully integrated. There's a word I learned of somebody that used in the past, I think it was a bishop, they used, and he called it enculturation, not integration, but enculturation, where you adapt to the culture that you become part of it, but you're proud of your heritage, right? You got your last name, you're proud of being Hispanic. I'm pretty sure a lot of your constituents that are going to be your constituents are also like you. They're Hispanic. They might not even speak Spanish, but they still have that heritage. Mm-hmm. Do you see yourself connecting with the district in that way? Because that is a huge deal. I think you will be a great service to that district.
I do. And here's the other point, which is really big that a lot of people don't. One thing that you learn in the military, if you didn't understand before, and any military person, most, I should say, not all, but most of us, we're colorblind. And right. That's what's great. Because, see, we need to not only, even though the biggest demographic is Hispanic, we can never forget the smaller percentages. That's why you need to work for everybody. See, when I was in the Marine Corps, for example, we didn't just work for the Caucasians or the women or the Asian people. We worked for all of them. And that's what is so important and vital right now, is that everybody understand that you are of the people, for the people, and by the people, that you're here to work for them all, regardless of the color of their skin, because that's what a servant leader does. A servant leader works for the people. That's what I do. That's what I've been practicing for many years now. And that's why it is resonating with a lot of people, because they're saying, wait a minute, this guy, Hidalgo, let's not confuse. Okay, I'm the right one. He's the wrong one. They see me. I mean, when I'm out on the streets, and right when we're done here, I got to get back out, and I'll be out on the streets this afternoon in San Isidro. They say, wow, now we're being courteous. We don't knock on the door right now because of COVID, and we don't want people to get upset with us. So we're leaving postcards, things like that. But still, people come out and they talk to me. Okay, I'm all for it. And they tell me, wow, we can't believe it. And my team is with me, or they're down the street, and we got people. They say, wow, Mr. Hidalgo, we can't believe it. You are the candidate, and you were actually out here. Yeah, I have to be. If I'm going to send people out here, I can't do it but every day I'm doing some part of it. I'm out here with them. I'm not afraid of hard work, and that's another thing we need in Congress, someone that will get there, put your sleeves up, and get to work for the people. Not talk about it and talk about, oh, in 2 years. You have a short amount of time. You got to get to work, and I will get to work on day one. No vacation. Let's just get it done. Start working the day you're in Congress and work for all people and let them know. And you're right. I'm proud of my culture. I'm proud of where I come from. I always tell you, like I said earlier, I'm a kid from National City. Who would have ever thought it? And so I do know people here, a lot of people. People come up to me, hey, and it's funny because sometimes they don't recognize me. I look the same, but a little bit older, I guess. But like what? Because I know it's just between us and a couple hundred people. But in high school, people call me Johnny, not Juan. So someone would say, the Juan throws them off. And they're saying, wow, Johnny, it's you. And I say, yeah, it's me, of course. And they, wow, that we knew the last name, but the Juan threw us off because you've been gone. So no, but they know who I am. And my aunt, uncle, my dad still lives in the same house I grew up in. I got tios and tias that live all over the district still. Yeah, it's cool. It's really a neat thing to see people walk up to me and say, hey, it's humbling and it's an honor. Let me give you once when somebody comes up and says, can I take a picture with you? I'm just floored. I'm like, sure, of course. You don't have to ask me because it's very humbling because you're like, wow, why would you even ask me? But praise God, I'm very thankful.
That is amazing. And actually, Maria Todd I think she just joined here. I might bring her in. But I didn't mean that you are Hispanic, you're going to be there. What I'm trying to say is that you have an understanding of what most of the district is composed of. So you do have an understanding of more of the problems, because if you remember when I went viral, I did say my culture is very dominant and it's imposing. So there's a lot of aspects of our culture that need a specific guidance. A lot of our people are not going by the rules. They're getting in trouble with little things, maybe too many traffic citations, little things that we can help with so they don't get in trouble. They lose their papers and they lose their legal status. So we have less problems out there,
No, you're right. And I do know that the district, I know the culture, people are amazed when they'll say, hey, they take a picture and I'll tell them exactly how do you know? Because I know my district. I know the people of the district. Here's a good example. You just talked about one of the biggest issues in the district is, like I told you, is jobs. Well, you know that when people get back to work, then they have less reasons or there's less of a chance that they're going to get in trouble. Okay, so we need to provide more jobs, so especially the younger people. The younger people it's a deterrent. Let's get you to work so you're not doing those other things. Does that mean we'll solve every single one? Absolutely, it's still going to be crime, but we're going to bring down that crime by getting people to work. And nobody's done that. Nobody's done that in this district over the last 8 years. And it's time to really work because see, there's an idea that the left wants to keep people in poverty. I don't want anybody to be in poverty. I want to help them out of poverty. Let's get people out of poverty because this. Here's a great example of knowing the culture of the majority of people here. They want to work. They want to take care of their families. It's a natural thing. They want to provide for their families. They don't want to be asking for handouts. They want hand ups, not handouts. And that's what we provide for the people of the district. And that's what they want. I mean, every culture here that you can think of, every American says, no, I want to work. That's why this pandemic and the left is trying to keep it shut down. They said, just let me work. I don't want your $1,200. I want to work. So let's get them back to work.
Great. Now, as far as would you think that there's less undocumented people close to the border than there is up in LA, or how would you rate your district?
Yeah, there's still a problem. And unfortunately, again, and people will attempt to say I'm a racist because of this statement. I'm like, are you serious? How can you say that? Because that's what the left tries to demonize us by. Because we want to secure the border. It has nothing to do with race. On the contrary, it has everything to do with protecting those that are in our country. I'm sure you've seen and heard the analogy of, do you have locks on your doors? Do you have a door on your house? Of course you do, because you want to protect your family. Well, I want to protect America. We do have a problem still. It's getting a lot better since the infrastructure started going up here in San Diego. There's still some parts that it's not going, and people are protesting because they don't want it. But we know, and here's a question for some of the viewers to give them food for thought is, we know through those open areas what has happened. Drugs have come through a lot. Human trafficking is happening. People say they care about the kids. Human trafficking, that's horrific. We're letting children be used as sex slaves, other terrible things. So that's a reason why we need the infrastructure. So to answer your question, it's still a problem here. I think we've noticed that it's gone down, but it's getting better.
Hold on, we'll be back to that very serious subject. But I have two great patients from Florida. I have Maria, and I have my great friend Martin. I don't know if you know Martin.
I don't. I've met Maria Todd before. Hi, Maria.
What's up, guys?
I'm putting down my tea. Excuse me for. Here we are. We're on our way to West Palm Beach.
Show my hat. Show
hold
where
on.
we're at. I know they're here.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me show you.
Yeah, 305, Miami.
There you go.
Right now.
Well, that's why he's running for Congress, no?
Hold on, who is that with the hat on? Tell him to take the hat off.
No, we met in Cali.
Oh,
we met in San Diego.
Yeah. They couldn't tell with the hat on.
I want you all to know that he just put on the sunglasses. He just now put on the sunglasses.
So he can look
cool. So I guess I need to put on a hat to look cool.
Yeah. No, he was back in San Diego. That's right.
Okay, well.
How you doing, Colonel?
So you reduced me. I'm a sergeant major.
I mean, Sergeant Major.
That's what my daddy is. Sergeant Major.
I mean, sorry, Sergeant Major. I had you confused with somebody else.
Oh, then listen, get that one.
My dad's a Sergeant Major.
Oh, really? Is a Marine?
Sergeant Major Albert D. Caps.
Wow, that's awesome.
I'm daddy's little girl.
Hey, pórtense bien, eh?
All right, nice to see you. Keep up with the good fight, Lieutenant
Good
Colonel.
Sergeant Major.
Take care.
I'll straighten them out. Don't you worry.
Have
I
fun.
like what you're saying about the border. You're absolutely right. We need to make sure that people realize that. I think it's like, what, 30-some percent, 35%, somewhere in there, of all those individuals, those groups and masses of people that are going across the border are not even related. It's all literally part of human trafficking. And so
it's been part of human trafficking. They were basically renting the kids, and that comes through. The Border Patrol had shared that with us. And I go back to looking at what the left says. They say they care about kids. How can you say you care about kids when you're allowing that? It's an incentive, and we need to shut it down to make sure it deters people from making that long trek trying to come across.
That is exactly right. But, people do an awful lot of talking, a lot of moving lips, a lot of tongues wagging. And the bottom line is people need to go ahead and vet the source. They need to vet what's being said, and they need to test the fruit and discern the spirits. They need to test the fruit. Because all those people that are talking, for example, Nancy Pelosi, against our walls being secured, against our borders being secured, she has plenty of walls around her area, around her homes.
Yeah. And the guy I'm running against is a Pelosi puppet. He's a Pelosi puppet that whatever she says jump, he jumps. He says how high. and we need to get rid of all of them. They all need to go. We put people in Congress that will work for the American people first. You know,
Absolutely.
you can be a good neighbor, and we should always be a good neighbor. But we always, any good father, any good mother takes care of their family first. So you say hello and you're friends with the neighbors, but it's always more important to take care of your family first. And they're not doing this. They want to take care of everybody else before they do take care of me. And my example of that is, why do we have, and I'm going to say this forever, we have so many here in so many homeless veterans,
Yes.
which bothers me to no end, and we need to stop it. There's just homeless people in general.
Oh,
Americans.
I understand. I'm running around under bridges. I'm bringing them food. I'm bringing them water. I'm bringing them provisions. And I'm sobbing. It's not okay to have our veterans out on the street. It's not okay to not take care of our own. And you're absolutely right. You know, there's something. I love doing humanitarian exploits, but charity begins at home.
Amen.
Charity begins at home. It's not okay to have our brave come home and not be taken care of.
And we're getting there. We can do better. We're going to do a lot better.
Appreciation. It's called thank you.
That's right. I agree with you.
All right, Maria. Great having you guys. Se cuidan mucho.
Gracias.
I had to say hi to them.
No,
hey, we have Peter Quo here. Hey, what's up, Peter? Our vice chair is watching us.
What's up, Peter?
So, you know, I really, and I told you this last time, I see you have the structure, you have the you really look like a representative. I mean, you have my vote. If I was there, I would vote for you. We need to help you. So just let us know. I mean, don't be afraid to just say, hey guys, I need this, and we're there.
You guys, what I need right now, I need everybody that's watching right now to go to hidalgoforcongress.com and make a contribution. The left tries to beat us, but because they have more money, it doesn't matter. Money, passion, and the hard work will beat this guy. But I do need people, and here's something people need to think about it, and I want them to think about. See, even our own party thinks, well, that's not something we can win. That's nonsense. I'm so tired of hearing that. We can't win it, so why try? That's nonsense. The fact of the matter is, this isn't an important district. This is the most important district in the country, and I'm going to tell you why. Because it covers the entire U.S. Mexican-California border from water to Arizona. Okay? Look at the problems that we're having. If you want to continue to have an open border guy, a guy that doesn't care about America, a socialist, cover that area, then you don't want to help me. But if you want to make sure that somebody that's going to stand up for America, American values, help our president secure that border, and I love to tell people, you need me on that wall. You want me on that wall because I'm going to make sure that our Border Patrol is well funded. Our Border Patrol has the men and women they need, the infrastructure they need, and the technology they need. That's not happening right now. We need to do this because it doesn't affect just the 51st district. It affects every district in the country. When we have illegal immigration, we have drugs pouring in, we have human trafficking going on. That affects the entire country. That's why it's important. That's why I need everybody on there to go right now, hidalgoforcongress.com, make a contribution. The max you can make is $2,800 per adult. Do it because we will win this. And I'm working for you. And some of you are thinking, well, I'm not in your district. When I'm in Congress, I'll be working for you anyways because I'm going to be America's congressman. The 53rd doesn't even have anybody. The 53rd has two communists running two that they're never going to help their district. We need to make sure I'm working for you, the American people.
I got a feeling I'm going to go visit you in Washington.
Well, you're always going to be welcome.
Let me put the link for your website here. It's what is it?
hidalgoforcongress.com.
That the Hidalgo last name, it's in every Hispanic.
And I know Someone's going to ask me because they always do. Yes, I am related. My grandmother died in 1990, and she was able to keep the line, and she was able to explain to us how we were related, and she took us all the way back. She was 100 years old, and she shared with us how we were related to Miguel Hidalgo. And
that is an amazing thing. That is an amazing thing because
that's today as well, right?
But you should cultivate that. I mean, you should use that. I mean, he was a great president. He did great things for Mexico. He was a little bit on the left side though, but
he's a priest that had children. That's kind of There's a crazy thing. Yeah, there wasn't. There's some issues there, but we exposed that, and we found that out too.
Yeah, but I want to see it. I don't because and I was speaking.
What I love is, and what you can look is the fighting spirit. Okay, the fighting spirit has been passed down because he went and he rang the bells and says, "This will start the revolution." Right? You know the story. Okay, and then today I'm saying right now we need to change. We need to fight. I have fought for this country on foreign land, and now I'm ready. And I'm ready to go to Congress and fight for you in the House right now. So you see that fighting spirit is still alive in our bloodline. So we are, and I'm very proud of that.
I guess at that time, a lot of the politicians came from the seminaries because that was the best education that Mexico had. So you're gonna, if you look in the Mexican history, you're gonna find a lot of people that were in the clergy that actually were the ones that stood up to the government and say, "Hey, you guys are messing up here a little too much." Yeah. But hey, so I guess you've been talking to William Baru says that he made a video for you. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good man, good friend.
Awesome. Yeah, so people said they got your link. So yeah, the thing is that a lot of people think they have to contribute a lot. $20, $30 go a long way because if you can get
everything is appreciated. Everything. I have a few young men that every month or every week they're giving $5, and I thank them. That's a blessing. I had a lady stop me one day on the street, and you could tell she didn't have a lot of money. She handed me $2 with tears in her eyes. That's what's amazing. And I said, "Thank you so much." My team, they put that up in the office because I said, "Look at this. This was somebody that gave because she believed." And it was so, I said, that $2 is as important as somebody that gives $2,800. That is that important. So we don't say, "Oh, it's only." No, we got another $5. God bless you. God bless you. This is a team effort. And I tell everybody, I say we a lot because together we will win this together. I can't do it alone. Those that are in San Diego that are close by, come help us. We need more people on the street. We need people handing things out. We'll put you to work. My volunteer team will put you to work. But we got to do it together. And it won't stop. It won't stop when I'm in office because I know how to serve people, and I'll always still be around and about. Leaders, okay? And I'm so tired of these politicians saying we use the term leaders for them. They're elected officials. But leaders are out and about. They're not hiding out. So I get out and about all the time. I don't hide out. It's time to get out there, be with the people, know the people, hear their issues, hear their problems. There's so many people. A gentleman last night, I'm going to give you an example. A gentleman last night called me to thank me because he has called the guy in office several times, couldn't help him, didn't help him, just basically ignored him. We got him help. We got him help. He has help. He said, "Mr. Hidalgo, thank you so much." I said, "That's what I'm doing. I'm not in office yet, but I'm already working for the American people, and that's what I'll do even more when I'm in office."
See, because that's what builds you. That is what gives you the strength, the people. And a lot of people don't understand that. They go to Washington, they forget about their district, and that's why they get in trouble. And they're all lost, like Pelosi, because she doesn't even know what she represents anymore.
Almost my entire is from the district. Just about, I'd say 95% of them either grew up here, still live in the district. I'm in Chula Vista right now, and they're from here. So they keep me grounded, and they know. And I've already told them when I'm in office. See, I don't say if, when the Lord puts me there. Stay connected. I'll be out here still. Of course, I'll be in D.C. During the week, but then you come here and you're out with the people. You're doing things with the people. You know what's going on. Having town halls, knowing what their issues are, not just showing up for, because the cameras are rolling. So we're not. I'm not going to do like the guy that's in there right now. I'm out here right now, finding out what issues are, knowing what the issues are, and working on them already.
Yeah, and it's healthy for you too. You're gonna see. The thing is that you have had this, you already have experience on this because you were in service, so you understand that you have to, you have that dynamic has to continue. I mean, that has to keep going.
We have to share that with people though, because a lot of people don't know. My team posted the other day. It's funny because some people think, well, and I've heard this before. Well, you were just a Marine. I've heard that. I'm like, how are you qualified? Are you kidding me? How am I qualified? You cannot put a price on the lives of the men and women that I've been responsible for. You can't put a price on their life. And I took that with great honor, that responsibility. And if I can do that now, then I will transfer, and I'm transferring that now to take care of the great people of this district. And so it's very transferable. It's very, very easy to do, and it comes down to that servant leadership.
So the girls wanted me to ask you about DACA, and I don't even want to talk about DACA and the Dreamers Act, immigration. The thing is, I feel like DACA is a bad word, and because it has a bad taste for most Americans because of the way it was channeled down. Look, Peter's saying Latinos for Juan, veterans for Juan, Asians for Juan.
There we go.
Hey, seems like you got Peter with you. Hey, that's great. I want to say something. If I have ever said anything against the GOP, I'm going to take out Peter out of the equation.
Yeah. Okay, Peter, write a check. I'm expecting that check.
because Peter has really reached out to me. He's stuck, unlike other people in the GOP. And when I saw Peter being a minority, him being an immigrant, I felt really good. I felt like there is hope, in the party. I feel that he's going to be able to do a lot. And I think he's doing it. He even had one of my Latinos for Trump flags out there, and that was awesome.
I agree. He's been a supporter, and one thing that we're going to do, and I think you know this. One thing that we don't need to do with our Latinos, we don't need to pander. Unfortunately, some of our friends in our party think that's how we'll get them over. Don't pander. We're very smart people. We know when people are lying to us. Don't, because they feel like they're being pandered to. Don't do it. Tell the truth. They already have people lying to them, and that's the Democrats. Let's be honest. Tell them who we are, that we're conservative. Most of them are extremely conservative. We are conservative by nature, So if we do that and we show them that we get behind good Hispanic candidates, more will come over. But if they don't even see that our Hispanic candidates that are conservative aren't being supportive, they're going to be like, wait a minute. That gives to the Democrat narrative that we don't care about Hispanics. So we need to continue to do the right thing. Don't just, support someone just because they're Hispanic, but because they're a good candidate. That is how we're going to win them. And we're doing it every day. We like I said, on the street every day, people are like, yeah, they'll tell me that they're Democrat. They'll tell me. And then they're like, well, I didn't even, I'm with you. Yeah. And they're so tired. And they kill me. They make me laugh because they'll tell me, oh, that other guy, yeah, he's a do nothing. Yep. They say, come on, what do you got to lose with me? You're right. And I said, you got everything to gain. I've had people say to me, well, we don't want soliciting. And I said, I'm not selling you anything. I'm here to give you something. I'm going to give you my hard work, working for you, your children, and your family. You're like, oh, that makes sense.
Hey, Mr. Hidalgo,
yes,
today I got just like an hour ago, TV Estrella called me for an interview a little bit. And they're telling me, Marco, there is a section of Latinos and Hispanics and voters in general that are not being convinced by both sides. And he was referring to the interview of Trump with ABC yesterday, and he's like, "What you think's going on?" And you know, yes, there I agree with them. There is some people that, even though all this is going on, they don't feel like they want to participate. Like my mother is one of them. And I told her that it's a little responsible of her, because it's her civil duty to participate on this, because of other people that have participated in the past. My mother has been, you know, like, for instance, she became a U.S. citizen thanks to when the Reagan administration helped out with. That's how she became a U.S. citizen. So it is good for her to participate on politics, but how can we do it so that more Hispanics come to the table?
You know how I do quite often. I ask them 3 questions. They're floored. I said, "Do you believe it? Do you believe in abortion?" Absolutely not. Usually they'll say, "I'm Catholic." Of course I don't. Good answer. We believe in same-sex marriage. No, I don't. I just told you I'm Catholic. I'm telling you the response I get. Do you believe you as a Hispanic are a hard-working person that doesn't want freebies, that just wants a level playing field and the ability to take care of your family? They said, "Of course." And I said, "You think more like a Republican? You think more like," and they're like, "No." I said, "No, seriously." Now, let's be honest. That doesn't mean we hate any of those people. Okay? That's what the left would say. Then you hate people that have abortion and you hate same-sex marriage people. That's not true. That is so far from the truth. That wouldn't be Christian-like. If somebody, I will pray for somebody that has an abortion. I will pray they don't have an abortion. If they do, I will pray for that young lady. And remember, there's a father involved too, a young man that's, and same-sex, the same thing. I don't agree with it, but that doesn't mean I or you hate them. That's where we have to get away from that narrative that the left has tried to brand us with, that we hate people. We don't hate them. But those simple questions, when I ask people, they're like, "Wow, you're right. I don't." So why have you been all this time supporting a party that's the #1 issues in their platform? That's what they put, because it's about feelings. Let's deal with the reality. The reality is you are hardworking and you want to take care of your family. And that's admirable. Everybody wants to take care of their family, and we should help them do that. We don't need to give them anything, but let's make sure they can have that. As you said, this is the land of opportunity. This is America. Only in America. You heard the story over and over from different cultures. Somebody comes here with $75 in their pocket. They're multimillionaires today. It happens here. People want that opportunity. People want the opportunity to be able to say, you know, I live and I'm now a success story by the grace of God. So that's all we have to do is be honest. Like I said, be honest, and they will. It's just that a lot of them feel like everyone's lying to them, and I don't blame them. There are people out there, you know. I hate, like, to be honest, I don't like when people call me a politician. I'm not a politician. Never served in office. I am a leader. I'm a person that is following what our founding fathers wanted. They wanted somebody like you and me, people that have never held office, had regular jobs, had regular professions, come serve our country again, and then go back to what we were doing, but not be a lifelong politician like the guy I'm running against. We need to get rid of those and get regular people that they'll serve. They'll know what's going on. See, I guarantee you half these politicians haven't had to sit down with their wife and go over a budget or talk about, oh, how are they going to pay for the kids' college? How are they going to do this right now with the pandemic? No, they've all been getting their full pay while keeping the government shut down. So when we share those things with them, they will come over. And I understand that, and I sympathize with that, because I ran into those people say, I don't even want to vote. I don't care. Both sides are crooked. And I said, you might have a point, but I'm not crooked. And I know everybody's not crooked, because I meet some good people. There's some good people running for office. There's some good people in office. Not everybody is crooked. Are there some? Absolutely. You know, unfortunately, there's probably a lot of them, but not all of them. So we just need to continue to share and talk to them and educate, and a lot of them will be really surprised, I think, when we're just honest and forthcoming.
So the girls wanted to know a little bit about DACA. So what do you want to say anything about that?
I think the sad thing is, what everybody wants, and especially our friends on the left, all they want is just make everybody citizens right now. That doesn't make sense. And what I always share, I share a little analogy with people. They say, well, then what we should do is, it's not their fault. That's their answer. It's not their fault. They were brought here. Well, we need to tighten those lines, because now you're telling me that a 40-year-old, a 50-year-old, okay, you didn't have a chance to do your paperwork. There's circumstances, I get it, okay? So we're gonna have to do some work on that. But the biggest issue when they try to argue is it's not their fault, so just make everybody a citizen right this minute. That doesn't make sense. And the reason it doesn't is, I give the analogy of, if you, Marco, if you went and robbed the bank right now, if you rob the bank, and it's illegal to rob a bank, we know that, and you go and buy a home, a big home, and then they find out that you're the one that robbed the bank, your kids didn't have anything to do with the bank robbery. Do they get to stay and keep the home, or will the government take the property back?
Right.
They don't get to keep it. So we would have to do something. Again, are you going to round up all the people that were brought here like that and just send them? That's not going to happen either. But we're going to have to work on some ways to make sure that it's not just rewarded. Illegal activity isn't rewarded. You don't just say, you know what, you came illegal, so now you're a citizen. That doesn't make sense, because, again, it goes back to the fact that we're a country of laws and order, and we need to make sure others, it doesn't incentivize us. It will just go over there and you say you claim DACA status and you'll be given everything. That's not the way it should ever work. So we need to be smart. We need to get people in there like myself that will work hard at this and see how we do it so it's fair first and foremost for America. And then we work to help people as well. Again, you don't have to just say, just crazy hard line, but you can be smart about it and do the right thing. And again, I think the main question is, should we just give them all legal status right now? I mean, American citizens right now. That would be incentivizing and saying it's okay to break the law.
Because what Biden and Kamala are answering, and I listened to both of their answers, they're not really saying anything either, because they're saying, oh yeah, we would, in the first 100 days, we would stop all massive deportations. Well, that means nothing, because there's not any massive deportations going on, so they're not going to stop anything.
And deportation is the bad thing when the Democrats do it. If you notice, it wasn't bad when Obama was doing it, but now it's bad. Wait a minute. If you do something wrong, here's an idea. Let's just not break the law. If we don't break the law, then you don't go to jail. You're not deported. And some would say, well, that's easy to say, but there's things. Well, I understand that, but there's still consequences for our actions. And we need to understand. We need to remind people that that's what's happened with this. With some of our young people today, they've told them, they've taught them that there are no consequences. Do what you want, and there's no price to pay. Well, there has to be a price to pay, so that we can make sure that we do remain a country of law and order.
Mr. Hidalgo, we're running out of time here, but I'm gonna give you a name. I'm gonna call you the gatekeeper of California.
There you go. I like it.
Because you are the gatekeeper. If you are your district is, I didn't know your district was that big, and so it's the whole California border.
Yes, that's right. And I'm out in Imperial Valley once a week, and they out there tell me the same thing. They never see the guy, doesn't care. He takes everybody for granted. And I'll never take the voters, the people, for granted. That's just not the way anyone should operate. That's arrogance at its best, and it won't happen. We must remain humble and always remember, when I'm in office, I'll work for you, the American people. And I say this and I mean it. When I go to Congress, when Hidalgo goes to Congress, we're all going to Congress, because finally, they have no voice right now for the last 8 years. It's time that Hidalgo's in Congress working for you, your family, your children, your grandchildren, and we will make this district the great district that it was once.
Well, I would think that as the last district, of California. I mean, it needs to be a district that has structure, so that, you know, that's the first district I saw when I came from Mexico. And let me tell you, I was very proud because it was so beautiful, so many lights. I was really amazed by all the marketing here in the United States in English.
It's a beautiful state. It's a beautiful district, but unfortunately, it's been run by some people that don't care. And we need to get it back. We need to really want people to stay here, want people to be here, excited to be here and do things the right way. And again, we don't need people leaving in masses like they are right now because of the draconian measures that the left has imposed upon us. So it's really time that we put Hidalgo, and there's others that are out there that are doing really good work that we need to also put in office.
So, Mr. Hidalgo, what is the best way we can help? So it's contributions. So do you have like videos, promotional videos that you can send us so we can run them here in the channel once in a while? Please feel free to send them.
Our YouTube has over, I believe it's over 70, almost 80 videos on there. We have a lot of those. You can go to our Facebook, our website is now in English, Spanish, Tagalog. What else? I think it's not in, it's in Vietnamese. Every language you can think of, because there's a little bit of that demographic, a little bit in the district. So you can go to my website, click whatever language you want it, and you're going to read everything that I'm talking about right now. So we are here to serve you. Help us. Like I said, like you said, Margaret, the biggest way is contributions. Tell your friends that live here, come help us. Get ready to hit the ground. This is a war. This is a war, and we need to win it right now. There is no tomorrow. We have 48 days, and we need to win it. There's the guy that asleep at the wheel. He doesn't care. He thinks he's got it locked up. We're going to show them that the American people will speak and take their district back.
Because if he's not doing a lot, he's just kind of seeing that maybe he's gonna get away with it like he's done in the past. When he starts seeing a little bit of action, well, he starts seeing that the water is gonna start, going up. He's probably gonna fight back. So hopefully I can help you a little bit there. Please
do. I'm going to share with you real quickly. I know we got to go. A little bit of arrogance on his part. He told a good friend, a mutual friend, that my friend told him, why aren't you out there doing anything? He goes, I don't have to. And he says, but you have not done anything in 8 years. He says, I don't have to. Listen to this part. This got me upset. He says, those people will still vote for me. Sheer arrogance, my friend. Sheer arrogance. And I want to show him that we are going to take our district back. We, the people, are not putting up with it, and we will take our district back and put Hidalgo in office so that we have a voice in our country.
Send them a 30-second, 60-second message, and I'll tweet it.
Okay. Thank you. I will.
Tell him I'm coming for you. Can you say something to him? What's his name?
I don't promote him. I'm the right one. He's the wrong one. 70% of the people don't even know who he is. They're like, who? And then when I do, when they'll say, oh, I know who it is. It's that guy. And I say, yeah, I'm the right one. He's the wrong one. We share the same first name. Please don't confuse us. All right. And he's pretty bad. I call him Bigfoot because not only that he's never on, he looks like Bigfoot too.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do it for you. I'm gonna say, I didn't even know who you were, but I'm telling you, Juan says that he's coming for you, man.
Oh, I'm coming for you. Yeah, we're coming to take this district back. I'm not afraid to tell. Like I said, I'm a fighter. I'm a Marine. We're going to take this district back. And that guy, the wrong one, I'm coming for you. I'm coming because you're sitting in my seat. And it's time for you to get out of my seat because the people need someone that'll work. That's not you. You've proven that over 8 years. Time to go, buddy. Time to retire.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
God bless America, my friend.